Hello listeners, my name is Steve Rosewell from MakCorp Data Resources. We have a platform with all the ASX resource stocks on it, including projects, financials, directors, market data, capital raises and top 20. And it's used for research, analysis, comparisons, trends and reporting. And happy to have our weekly podcast update on the ASX resource sector back. And in today's podcast, we'll cover the weekly performance, week ending the 22nd of November 2024. We'll include the top 20, the bottom 20 best performing stocks, commodities overview, project regions. We'll also have an overview of the directors' trades and shares, capital raising and projects. So let's get started on the overall performance of the sector. As we can see on the left-hand side here, we can see a positive 0.70% average weekly gain for week ending the 22nd. Then we have all the average weekly gains for the regions along with ERP software. The best performing region for week ending the 22nd was the Gawler Creighton with 15.18% average weekly gain. And happy to say one of our clients, Barton Gold, ASX code BGD, has their gold project or gold projects in the Gawler Creighton. And now let's have a look at the top 20 and bottom 20 best performing stocks for the week. If we start with the top 20, happy to say one of our other clients, Warradar Resources, ASX code WA8, has managed to get in the top 20, which is fantastic, with a weekly gain of 26.19%, with just over 848,000 traded for the week and volume of just over 16 million. But looking at the top end of the top 20, PTR was the standout for the week with a 280% gain, and that was due to some outstanding drilling and metallurgical results with their MakCorp Mineral Sands project, and their JV partner also performed well, NYM. So they had an announcement in outlining that as well, along with some high-grade rare earth and scanning results from another project. FNR had no news, and they had small trade value for the week, along with low volume. OLY similar, but they did have an acquisition in Canada for a copper gold project, and VRX had some news on the environmental side of things. For the worst performing, or the bottom 20 worst performing stocks for the ASX resource sector, week ending the 22nd, ADX was the worst performing. They had some news on their Wellchar project. JLL was second worst performing stock, with some news out on their McDermott PFS lithium study. WTM drilling results. AON some visible intersects results and also entitlement offer. And IMI no news. So just the top 5 and bottom 5 there, with some results of why they may have had good gains or bad gains for the week. Next, we'll look at the commodities performance for the week. So if we click on here, we can see all the major commodities, with mineral sands the standout, with an average weekly gain of 16.22% based on PTR's performance in announcement with the mineral sands. You can also see uranium performed well, and there was some news out a week ago where they were banning enrichment uranium, and so uranium stocks have done quite well with an average weekly gain of 3.25% and so on. So a mixed bag there of positive and negative gains. Next, we'll look at directors' trades or directors' shares, and we'll look at the report there. Here we have all the data from the AND date, the change date, the code, the director, And type is we have the director new is the latest or the most recent announcement. Director old are the previous transactions or announcements. Current shares and previous shares held. Nature of change, transaction type, and value. I believe that the director's shares are one of the most important data pieces or data fields that you should be researching, as it shows the directors whether they have skin in the game or they're getting sort of cheap options and conversions. So if we move into the next dashboard here, we can see the top 10 buys for the week, with Chris Ellis being the top with 538,000 transaction. There's some few good ones there. And scrolling down, there were 3 sells for the week. And then we have the top 10 by ASX code and value. And looking at the breakdown here of the transactions, you can see that there was 32 buys, 26 where the expiry of options or performance rights, no consolidations. There were 2 conversions, 2 directors' fees. They're good to look at because director fees means they're not taking a salary and they're taking shares in lieu of a salary. Final director notices, initial director notices. So there were 17 resignations last week and 12 new directors starting. 39 issue of shares or options or performance shares, 3 sells and 2 transfers. So very, very good data as far as the what's happening with the directors. So that's all week ending the 22nd. Next, we'll look at the capital raise. So here's the capital raise, and I'm filtered on just for last week. There was 239 plus million raised for week ending the 22nd of November. There were 25 ASX resource stocks included in the capital raises for the week, with 28 raises. And here we can see an overview of what commodity most of the raises were done in, lithium being the number 1 with 182 plus million raised and so on, and the CR types. And if we scroll down a bit further, we can see who the top capital raises were, PLL and SYA, with their potential merger, with the 2 highest raises of 69 million and so on. So that's the capital raises for the week. Next, we'll look at projects. So there were 121 ASX resource companies with a project update last week, which related to 142 projects. Again, I'm filtered on just last week's announcements or updates. And as I scroll down, we have 2 commodity fields in our system, a general commodity or byproduct and a priority commodity. Priority commodity means it's the commodity the company is focused on in their project. So gold was the highest, then lithium, copper, rare earths, nickel, antimony, uranium, silver, platinum and palladium, and zinc were the most project updates. Here we have project stages. So exploration was the most announcements or updates for the week. Acquisitions. Now, why that states 25 acquisitions for the week, those acquisitions could also go back for the last month or 2, and there may have been just an update on a particular acquisition. The same with discoveries. As you'll notice, there's 19 discoveries in the system for last week or the week ending the 22nd. Now, those discoveries might have go for the last sort of 3 or 4 months, and there's just updates on those discoveries. Then we have some study updates that relate to either scoping, DFS, PFS, BFS or feasibility, pre-development and production. The next we have the project activity type, which is a good mix there. Field work was the prominent one. some good drilling results as well. Scrolling down, this gives you a breakdown of all the types of project activity types. Then we have the project locations by country and regions. So for full access to all the data and updates, the subscription started at $895, and we have special price for investors and anyone interested. As far as an investor subscription, please contact me at steve@MakCorp, MakCorp.net.au, or visit our website, MakCorp.net.au, MakCorp.net.au. Any suggestions that you'd like included in our next podcast, please let me know and we'll try and add that to our next podcast. Thanks for listening, everybody, and please subscribe to our YouTube page if you like our podcast. We also have podcasts with our clients we have in the ASX resource sector. We also have investors. We also have mining services, including corporate finance, brokers, etc. So the data covers multiple uses, and as you can see with our YouTube page there, we had a webinar just over a week ago which shows you an outline of how the data can help with research and analysis, etc., and some podcasts on our clients, including Warradar, Barton Gold, and Mount Burgess. So hopefully you'll subscribe to that as you enjoy our weekly podcast, and look forward to any constructive feedback. Thanks again for listening.